What up, everybody? It's your boy Sundance underscore V2, and you're watching the channel Sundance underscore V2 Gaming. As you can see to my right, we got the countdown timer for the PS5 reveal. Going down. It's going down. Alright, cool. We got everything set up, guys. We're going to be going over things and events, like video footage from the PS2 to the PS5 release or reveal. I have a couple videos on I looked up on YouTube that we can be watching. We have the history of the PlayStation. We have the PlayStation 2 launch date in the US. We have the PlayStation 3 launch date in the US, and the PlayStation 4 event launch in the US that we can all watch. And then everything we know so far about the PS5 before the reveal launch. Like I said, there is a timer on the side over there, as you can see. And yeah, let's get this show on the road, guys. We're live, going down. It's gonna be fun. Hold on, let me get everything going real quick for you guys before I even have too many people all up in here. The countdown is I'm so excited for this. I'm actually going to get both Xbox and PS5 when they come out, so just really excited to see what games will be announced. It's going to be a dope event, I'm sure. All of you guys know that the first one got canceled. Supposed to be set for June 4th, but got canceled. Let's do that real quick. Try to get everybody up on the... we're trying to get everybody on. Try to get everybody on Instagram right now tuned in. Reveal. All right. Let's get this show on the road, guys. Let's go ahead and, like I said, look through some video clips and stuff. So this right here is the PS2 launch event, October 2000. In 2000, I was 10 years old. That's crazy, huh? 10 years old. Look at it. Tell the big difference. Jesus.
PlayStation 2. It's on everyone's mind these days, and leading us into its North American launch, the excitement and anticipation surrounding it is starting to blow a few minds.
And the graphics is outstanding. I'm loving it.
The graphics is sweet, especially on that fighting one down there.
Controllability of the games are unbelievable. I mean, it's very smooth.
It's fast, and it makes for a more real-life playing experience.
It's pretty close to cinematic quality. It's unbelievable.
There were a lot of parties being planned to celebrate the arrival of the PlayStation 2. Since we've never been known to miss out on free food and drink, we flew down to LA for what turned out to be a rather raucous rave.
Oh man, this is beautiful. As you can see here, we got hundreds of kids having fun playing PlayStation 2, dancing in the unison of, the music. This is, I think, what, the urban culture, they play video games, they listen to music, they go to raves. All the kids here, they play video games, And you go to a rave, you play a video game, you go play a video game, you dance when you win. Same difference, It's all good.
Dancing in video games. What better life is that?
Dancing in video games, huh?
This was definitely a rave to remember. Some people were dancing up a storm out on the floor, and some were creating another type of storm playing video games. We were interested in what their favorite games were.
Ready to rumble too. Shaquille O'Neal with that reach, baby.
Ready to rumble.
Him up. I got to beat up Michael Jackson.
I was on the N64
You know what I'm saying? I got to beat up Michael Jackson.
Tekken is my favorite game. It's really intricate fighting, and the styles of the fighting is just great,
I think Ridge Racer 5 looks great. Finally realized as it should be.
Vanavision's actually really good too, which I'm kind of glad they did something to show off the power. Great demonstration of its lighting and particle effects.
I like the football one over there in the bar area, the 21 and up area. The football one has nice graphics. You got the people on the sideline chilling. You see them drinking their Gatorade while they're playing, and that's, I mean, how can you get any realer?
The following week, we were off to the Metreon in San Francisco. That's where Sony Computer Entertainment was celebrating in style. Of course, when it came to having an opinion on which games were the best, these folks needed no prompting.
The favorite thing, obviously, has been Madden 2001. It's just been great. I mean, everything's from the realism of the rain scene. I think it's totally cool, and then I love watching, you know, the fact that they're breathing and they're running through the field. So, and then not only do you get to play football, but you get to actually feel like you're there.
The Tekken Tag tournament was pretty unbelievable.
Well, my favorite game was SSX snowboarding game. I thought the visual effects were really great. The graphics was awesome.
Carmen, Sony rules. Just
Before you could say honey roasted peanuts, we were back on another plane headed for LA. With no invitation in sight, we made a feeble attempt to crash a star-studded Hollywood party. Luckily, we knew someone on the guest list who was able to sneak us in. Now, we may have been starstruck, but Maggie did manage to strike up some conversations.
I'm a huge PlayStation fan. I've been waiting for this day. I'm going to cry right now. I think I'm going to cry. I'm a huge fan. Oh, I'm having a blast. I mean, there's music, food, and PlayStation. It's pretty much a guy's heaven. I think I can pretty much quit my TV show and just sit up here on the roof and play.
Maggie, the epitome of the inquiring mind, just had to know if Wayne was going to subscribe to the PlayStation Underground.
Now that I know the PlayStation Underground is around, I'll be there. I'll definitely be there. Can I get codes and tips and whatnot?
Oh, yeah.
Then I'll do it. Because when I can't beat it, I just cheat. It's sad but true.
Even though we were wiped out from our trips, we were brimming with confidence that the PlayStation 2 launch would be a huge success. Why? Because of the word on the street.
Actually, I already got one reserved for the day it comes out.
Most definitely. I already have mine pre-ordered.
Yeah, definitely. The 26th, I'll be either camping or I'll be knocking doors to get one.
Thought would be like a perfect birthday present for me because today's my birthday.
And I'm definitely going to go buy me one right when it comes out. It's on my Christmas list.
I'm hoping to get 2.
I can't wait for them to come out. I'm going to get like 6 of them.
So you see that, guys? Crazy. Back in 2000, the PS2 launch. 2000. Now we're 2020. 20 years later, we're showing the PS5. This is the PS3 event launch. Let's go ahead and watch this. 2006. So 6 years later, from the PS2 to PS3 came out. Let's go.
Conditions in anticipation of tomorrow's PlayStation 3 launch. It marks a new era in gaming with lifelike graphics and motion sensing controls. Teacher Shirley Engel is live outside Best Buy in Burlington tonight with some die-hard gamers. Good evening, Shirley.
Good evening, Nick. Well, the lights are out and the doors are closed at this location, but just check out this lineup of customers just waiting for the crack of dawn. That's when 21 PS3 consoles will hit store shelves, and despite the weather, they say it's worth the overnight wait. As the mercury drops, not even the plastic tarps can fend off the cold. But the mood remains high among these 21 gaming enthusiasts.
We got a little tent set up here with umbrellas and such.
And they still have to pay for the payoff. Up to $700 a piece.
For a couple days now, they've been waiting out front. They know what's available, they know what's there, they know what to expect, and at least they're guaranteed to get one unit.
If you're not one of the people lined up right now, good luck getting your hands on one of these. There's only 40,000 PS3 consoles being shipped to Canada. And when you divide that among the thousands of retailers from coast to coast, only a handful will go to each store. If money's no object, you could go on eBay. But buyer beware. The highest bid tonight was nearly $10,000.
What they're going to try to do is use a little bit of momentum to build during the Christmas season and beyond.
But Sony has some competition.
We're here to award you with the first Wii in Canada.
Burlington's Cheryl Donnelly won Nintendo's latest console in a random draw. Her 5-year-old son will play before anyone else in Canada.
I just said, I won, and I was telling him, and he was like, and I'm going to get it, so he was pretty excited.
Nintendo's Wii hit store shelves on Sunday and retails for nearly $400 less than the PS3.
The gaming experience on our system versus our competitors is very different.
game is
but it'll
everybody
still
excited,
be a
man?
tough
What
decision
game
for
is
those
everybody
willing
excited
to
for?
endure
Like,
the
if they
elements.
reveal, like, God of War
Believe it
2?
or not, some of the
I'm excited for
hardcore
that, hell
gamers
yeah.
don't decide. They're
Horizon
standing in
Zero
line
Dawn?
tonight to pay $700 for the Sony PlayStation, and they will be back in line
about a
48
Splinter
hours
Cell
from now, paying another
reboot
$300 for the Nintendo. That's what we mean when we're talking about hardcore gamers.
And make no mistake, this is a very organized event on the part of the stores. These customers will be given numbers at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, and that will give them priority over the number of PS3 consoles that will be available.
PS4
that will mark the beginning of the
release.
gaming wars.
That was
Nick, we're
something I
sure to
saw
see
pictures
lineups
and
like
it
this
was
for the launch of
amazing
Nintendo
time. I remember
Wii
calling
on
in from
Sunday.
work and
Back to you.
not going to work the next day and just staying home and playing PS4 all day. What else we got right here? We got the PS4 launch. I think I have that right here. Let's go to the PS4 launch.
Hey, what's up, folks? Standing here outside the GameStop and Market and 5th Street here in San Francisco. We just came down the road. It's only about 3 blocks away from where we're based, just up the road. And there's a hell of a bunch of people out here. There's a lot of people. Hey, man, do you know what number you are on the line here?
227.
227?
Yeah, 227.
How long you been here?
Oh, man, we've been here for about 5-6 hours.
Is that true, or is it more like 3 or 4 hours? You just trying to pop it up?
6 hours.
Do you know what games you're getting today?
We got 2K. We thinking about getting a Ghost too.
Okay.
So would you be happy going home with just one game tonight?
Yeah, for sure. And that PS4, most definitely.
Just one between the two of you guys? Yeah. Sure.
One beats none.
You gotta get 2 controllers at least.
Exactly.
All right. Okay. Well, best of luck. So that means there's probably about 300 people in line then, I guess, the whole time. There's still people adding to the back of the queue as well. We're about 5 minutes away from them opening the stores. They've got people running up and down the queue, making sure everyone's in order. I guess they're trying to make sure everyone gets allocated. But yeah, we went inside a second ago and there was, I don't know, about like 500-600 PS4s in there. So they definitely stocked up, which is pretty good. Kind of different to a lot of previous console launches, I think. We all know what happened with the Wii. I'm hoping there's not a lot of people who are going to stick these things on eBay straight away. That would be pretty sucky. These guys must have been here for ages. Hey, man. How long you been in line here?
I just got here.
Whoa.
You line first. There's a line, I came here like 4 hours ago.
Okay.
And then you can go do whatever else.
Oh, really? And come back?
Yeah.
Did you have a buddy here just kind of keeping your spot?
No, you get a number.
Really?
Yeah.
That's outrageously well organized.
Yeah, it was super easy.
What did you do for your hour you were away then?
I went to a bar.
You went to a bar? How many drinks do you have?
That's my guy right
3.
there.
What'd you think about it? Were you just sitting at the bar on your own?
Oh, no, my friends met up with me. Yeah.
And they're all gone home now?
Yeah, they took off. They didn't want to wait till midnight.
So you've gotten it tonight. You're getting it tonight, rather. Yeah. Are you actually going to stay up and play tonight?
No, I'm going to bed. I'm taking tomorrow off from work. I'm going to play all day tomorrow.
Oh, really?
It'll be great, yeah.
You just wanted to wake up next to...
Get up at 5 in the morning and go here.
All right, more power to you.
True.
Enjoy the rest of your queuing. Not too much longer now. We're still only halfway down the line, I think, at this stage. So we're going to slowly creep up here. Oakley Shop and Converse. Nobody's doing some midnight. Yeah! People are pumped or tired or one or the other. Hey, what's up, man? How long you been in line here?
I just got here.
You just got here as well?
Yeah, I bought my ticket earlier, so I just went home, came back, and, I'm ready.
What number are you in the queue?
I'm 97, so...
97?
Yep.
So what time? When did you come down here originally, then, to get your number?
I would say 5:45.
Okay. So what you been doing in the meantime?
Just hanging out, just what everybody else is doing.
Dreaming about the next gen?
Definitely, ready to play it, so let's see how it is.
What games are you going to get?
I like the Assassin's Creed so far, so I'm going to try it out.
Okay, you
with that first.
Be happy going home with one game today and then maybe get a couple of more in a couple of days?
Yeah, definitely. When they start releasing more, that's when I'm going to buy them. Digital, too.
Did you hear about all the announcements today? Did you hear about Uncharted 4?
I did not, but that's one of my favorite titles, so I'll check it out.
Awesome, yeah, there's a couple of games, The Last of Us, the extra DLC coming out as well. A couple of Sony announcements tonight, so enjoy the rest of your tray. Yeah, let's get up there. We're about 2 minutes away from game time here, so let's mosey on up and bust past some of these people. It's really crazy. So they have loads of organizers making sure that everyone's in line. Man, this guy's... What did you buy?
No, I won.
You won?
Yeah. No.
Why are you still here?
Because I know it's just the Killer Zone, right?
All right, okay.
Yeah, I will get the PlayStation.
I hope you get a taxi home tonight, because that's a lot of hardware to be going home with, buddy. I don't know what's going on over here. Signings and stuff? I don't know. All your favorite PlayStation executive heroes over there or something? Who knows? We're real close to get into the front of the store here. Inside's basically empty, just media inside. Lucky people like us are able to mosey in a bit quicker. Yeah, GameSpot!
So 44 minutes left for the reveal of this guy.
I think I just stood in something. Yeah, so here we are coming up to the entrance. So they're leaving in people 15 by 15 every couple of minutes. We've got one waiting for us behind the till as well, which will be cool because we got a bunch of reviews and stuff to get done. I'm gonna walk in ahead, actually, man. I don't want you falling up those steps. That would suck. So we're like a minute or two now from going live. There's a bunch of cameras, and the best thing about coming in last is you get the best position. So here we are. How much left, Ryan?
1 minute.
1 minute.
1 minute.
1 minute left.
These people are gonna lose their. We're gonna have a countdown and everything. Look at all these people. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's number one. There's number one. He gets his own go. Look at that.
There it is, baby.
I wonder if he has to pay for it. Do it! Yes! He's even got a free sick bag. This must be the happiest day of this young man's life. I mean, look at the media attention. Look at this. Don't look at me. Look at this.
Look at it.
2 and 3 are coming in next. He got the gold medal. To a man. Look at this. These are the athletes of the retail world. It's incredible. They won the queuing in line for the PlayStation 4 Olympics. How long you been here, buddy?
Probably 24 hours.
Oh yeah? You look real awake here.
Yeah, I'm excited.
All right, okay. I'll let you enjoy the best moment of your week. All right, so I don't think everyone's going to get as much fanfare as this. I'm assuming that after 4 and 5 and 6, once we get down to double figures, they'll probably ease off a bit on the clapping. Well, look at this. NBC, Bay Area NBC is here.
I'm excited for God of War 2 personally.
GameStop TV interviewing Wade, not to be confused with GameSpot TV. I think 2 and 3 have already gone home. Wade here. Wade is super pumped.
This guy's happy. He got his PS4.
I really hope these people have got taxis home tonight.
Then again, dude, I was happy as hell.
He's thanking GameStop. He's thanking Sony. He's screaming yes. This is incredible, folks. It's like the World Series, but for buying hardware. Look at this. Wade's going to have pictures of himself all over his house. He's going to get this stuff framed. When he shows his kids, some people show their kids like their college football trophies the day they got married. Wade will have a whole album full of pictures from tonight.
From day one midnight release, I still have my PlayStation.
So that's 1, 2, and 3 have already left. Wade is still here. So 4 and 5 must really be itching. 4 and 5? Maybe they're doing them 2 by 2. It's like Noah's Ark.
But I haven't switched.
Woo! 4 looks pumped. Way to go, man.
The only thing I did was upgrade the...
Wade's here. Wade's staying around for emotional support.
Hard drive. Other than that,
Way to go, Wade. Congratulations, man. GameSpot here. How are you, my friend?
I am excited.
What are you going to do right now?
I'm going home to set this up and play it.
How long have you been up?
I've been up for 2 days.
2 days? Are you not even the slightest bit tired?
No, not me. No, not tired. No.
What games do you buy?
Right now I got Killzone.
Just Killzone?
Killzone right now.
Awesome. You gonna go home and play a lot of Killzone?
Yes, yes.
You gonna do single player or multiplayer?
I'm gonna do a little both.
You gonna go online and kill some fools?
Yes, I'm gonna go murk some people.
Yeah, once they get their PlayStation 4s, you're gonna have to wait a while.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna let you go home, man. Congratulations. Go home and have a great time, all right?
Go Team Toaster.
Go Team Toaster. You heard it here first. Take care, man.
Toasted himself.
Team Toaster. Go Team Toaster. Those words will forever live in infamy. I love Wade.
We got about 39 minutes.
Look at this, 4 and 5 over here. I think 4 and 5 are a couple. Way to go, 5.
Cheers, mate.
You're wait. Where are you from, my friend?
From Sydney, Australia, but here these days.
Okay. So what about all your friends back home in Oz who aren't getting this for a couple of weeks?
They're going to be pretty jealous, mate.
Want to send a message to those folks?
Cheering. Thank you, mate.
All right, take care. 2 by 2. Oh, let's help him up. It's falling off his shoulder. There you go, bro.
Too loud or what?
These people are over encumbered with PlayStation paraphernalia.
You guys good right there?
Some of that's with consoles, some of them got a bunch of games. It's interesting, like most of the people we've talked to have only been getting 1 or 2 games. I guess lots of them are available on download, free to play.
No, NAC 3 is a
Day
really
1
good
digital. UK, we won't be stuck,
when it
do we?
comes out,
Sorry.
but NAC, I played NAC 1. I don't think I've ever played NAC 2 yet.
Alright, look at these.
What's the NAC 2 storyboard?
Hold it, lift them up.
Lift it up, celebrate.
Look at that. So that's 6 and 7, I think. This is incredible. Wade's sticking around. These people wanna mosey on home.
Shit, I don't even know what number I was.
I don't know, Ryan. What you think?
I think we go back to the office.
Yeah.
Close down the stream with Chris and everybody.
Yeah. Get into the store.
You sure?
Because
if we keep doing 2 by 2 at this rate, we're gonna be here until like 4 or 5 in the morning.
We should go back. Yeah.
All right. Okay. We got what we came here for. We're gonna shoot it back to the studio. We'll see you guys in a few minutes.
Caesar, go sub. All right, what is this? All right, it was over. All right, guys. Like I said, man, let me know. Let me know what game you were most excited to hear about if they do announce anything. What was this? Oh yeah, they still haven't announced anything yet. Oh, live now, the future of gaming. Ooh, the show is on. Let's go. Oh wait, we're waiting. Let me know how it sounds, guys. Let me know how it sounds. Until then, we're gonna go over here. Then we'll mute that, and then we'll go over here. 18-minute video. We're just
it's an LSI CoreWave 32-bit processing unit. This was your PlayStation. It was what gave your childhood color and...
So right now we're just killing time until the... Oh, damn. SOCOM was a freaking crazy game. I remember SOCOM. SOCOM U.S. Navy SEALs. Was there already a SOCOM 2, though? I believe there was a SOCOM 2. Yeah, right now we're just killing time, looking the PlayStation history until... So... the live event starts. We still got 36 minutes left, guys.
This is an LSI CoreWave 32-bit processing unit. This was your PlayStation. It was what gave your childhood color and vivacity in between school hours and extracurriculars. Video game consoles are machines that bring us hundreds of hours of entertainment at a time. And if we didn't understand its history, it's a good bet that these devices probably wouldn't have the capabilities we're familiar with in 2016. Over 20 years stand between the massively successful PS4 and Sony's first cut into the entertainment industry. We've got an insane amount to cover, so grab a snack or two and hop into the complete history of the PlayStation console.
I remember that game. Loved it, to be honest. Loved it. I think it was the first online.
The System G, envisioned by Sony, overwhelmingly impressed its audience with the workstation's capability of three-dimensional graphics. After the showcase, a man named Ken Kutaragi confronted Sony's management, providing insight on a more powerful audio chip that could be incorporated into the new 16-bit Super Nintendo console. Sony contemplated his insight and eventually did precisely so. Ken tenaciously continued to pursue their management team, persuading them of a market pivoting around CD-ROM technology. Video games seemed primitive and childish to Sony, and it didn't sound like a worthwhile investment. Enter once again the father of the PlayStation, Ken Kutaragi, who persuaded Sony to develop a standalone CD-ROM console entitled the PlayStation, a joint venture between Sony and Nintendo. As the console materialized, Sony licensed CD-ROM and CD media, while Nintendo was given the responsibility of manufacturing cartridges. It didn't seem like Nintendo received a favorable piece of the pie on this deal, taking into consideration the prolific market for for CD technology. But because of Sony being the primary supporter of the SNES, Nintendo suddenly found themselves on a pretty rickety bridge. At the 1991 Consumer Electronics Show, Sony unveiled further plans with Nintendo to pair up and take full advantage of both markets. That was before Nintendo released a disparaging statement involving their acquired partnership with Philips behind locked doors. Sony was left to believe the deal with Nintendo retained its integrity. The following contradiction infuriated a considerable portion of Sony's higher-ups, including Kutaragi. Though Sony seemed dissuaded from attempting a CD-ROM console after all the mudslinging, Kutaragi urged Sony to resume full development on the project anyway. Kutaragi began work in secrecy on a new system codenamed the PlayStation X, marked as a reminder of Nintend's tantalizing and betraying statement. That's when things started to really change. The PlayStation's 32-bit processor and CD-ROM architecture was a digital artillery on its own. Once units were released on the shelves, it became Sony's most threatening weapon against its adversity. Sony acquired an array of third-party developers such as Konami, Namco, and Psygnosis, an obscure European development team acquired for $48 million. The talents and skills of Psygnosis were recognized by Sony and their competitors, and eventually evolved into an entirely new branch in 1993 entitled Sony Computer Entertainment.
There it is.
After being hyped up for what seemed like years, the
1,
official PlayStation saw the shelves in the US on September 9th of 1995. People weren't ready. The initial launch was operating under a library of 17 games, including Ridge Racer and Crime Crackers, to highlight a couple examples. Coming out with a sticker price of $300, it was both venerated as the cheaper and more superior console in terms of graphics and playability. Shelves were practically cleansed of the console after just a few days. Returning massively successful sales, the virality of the PlayStation sold exceedingly well across North America and Europe, and was the first console in history to achieve the selling of over 120 million units. Inconceivable! Granted, it took them upwards of a decade to do so. Sony definitely seemed to know what the hell they were doing. With over 120 million units sold overall, Sony's explosive entrance into the console craze turned a lot of heads. From the convenience of memory cards to the comfort of the controller, Sony seemed enamored with their success and indulged in very high praise from other reviewers. Getting your foot in the door in this lucrative of a market demanded time, skill, and deep pockets. Sony had no problem performing all three very well. The PlayStation went through a few variants during its production. Some earlier models ended up being recalled because of the tendency to overheat thanks to awkward vent locations on the console. Earlier PlayStations were also prone to data reading errors because of malfunctions with the disc laser. Another variant included a development kit catering towards programmers and animators wanting to get their foot in the door of the industry. The matte black Netya Rose console was one of many variants of the PlayStation that came with the necessary software required to hop into making your own game. It took a while for the PlayStation to build up its lucrative library of video games, but the collection ended up growing to over 2,400 video games from a plethora of different developers. Ubisoft's Rayman and Insomniac's Spyro highlighted as recognizable classics. Another prolific Sony series you may remember, however, was Jam-Packed. PlayStation Underground's digital machine incorporated the demo series into its content to advertise and preview upcoming Sony launches and exclusives. Sony went from an industry force to a full-fledged record breaker with over 155 million units sold, as confirmed by Sony in late 2011, making the PlayStation 2 the best-selling video game console in history today. The PlayStation 2 was announced in 1999, positioned against Sega's Dreamcast, Nintendo's GameCube, and Microsoft's Xbox. With Microsoft's early foot in the door with online gaming and the GameCube's friendliness towards their earlier handheld platforms, the battle was on. Sony took some time armoring up the PlayStation 2 library and teasing a few games for the console, such as Gran Turismo and Tekken Tag Tournament. Sony also made it a point to capitalize on its backwards compatibility with earlier PlayStation 1 games and its abundance of development kits. Upon release, it took Sony a while to beef up its collection of games, but one Christmas season and $100 price slash later, Sony held the candle to its competitors once again in late 2001, further fortifying its game library library with console exclusives like the Grand Theft Auto series and Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. As game developers began to understand the inner workings of the PS2, the limits of both the system and the developers were strained and expanded with some high-profile classic games. Sony's juggernaut franchises such as Devil May Cry, God of War, Jak and Daxter, Ratchet & Clank, Kingdom Hearts, and many others pushed numbers further than what was ever conceived possible by Sony or even its competitors. Not to say all of Sony's moves on the board were checkmates. In July of 2002, erroneous disc readings led to a pretty heavy class action lawsuit against Sony filed in the Superior Court of California. The parameters of the lawsuit involved Sony compensating the players with faulty systems, as well as a single free game chosen from a specified list of console-exclusive titles. The hearing did not begin until 4 years after the actual lawsuit, wedging Sony into a pretty weird corner, especially considering Sony's console plans for the 7th generation. 2004 brought plenty of hardware revisions to the table for Sony, the most notable of the bunch being a slimline version of the original, fatter PS2. In addition to the thinner and more portable profile, the revised PlayStation made it evident that Sony believed online play was getting pretty important, including a separate Ethernet jack into the console. Unfortunately, the thinner aesthetic made it pretty hard to also include a 3.5-inch expansion bay into the body of the console, so say goodbye to that. At the Electronic Entertainment Expo in 2003, Sony announced that they were going to be putting forth their first portable gaming system. The project was not unveiled until a 2004 Sony press conference. The PlayStation Portable, widely known as the PSP, would be the PlayStation's first step into the handheld world. The PSP was initially released in Japan in December 2004 and in North America later in March 2005. The same year the PS2's successor was announced, but we'll get to that in a bit. PSP had many original features, including the size and resolution of its screen, the UMD disk drive, and its storage medium. The PSP Go was an attempt to make a completely digital system. Everything from games to films had to be bought separately on the digital medium. It wasn't a breakthrough as much as it was an impractical restraint. The system was only $50 less than the PS3 on initial release, and it didn't respond very well with consumers, leading to the PSP Go eventually withering and fading away. Even some of the games sold a few million copies, like the Monster Hunter franchise, Crisis Core, The City of Final Fantasy, one of my personal favorites, and SOCOM. It also found a strong audience in passive puzzle games. Interesting. But in the end, as each upgraded system failed to sell, the PSP's star faded, and it is now a dust collector, the eventual fate of all gaming systems. It should be said that Sony was scrutinized multiple times for the marketing campaign of the PSP systems, including paying graffiti artists to tag major cities with PSP adverts, paying advertisers to pretend to be bloggers praising the PSP, and one billboard in particular that really shook the Netherlands. The successor to the PlayStation Portable, the PS Vita, saw an international release in early 2012, primarily kindling competition with the Nintendo 3DS. Looks like these guys never seem to get out of each other's hair. During its first week of availability, it sold over 300,000 units in Japan and around 200,000 units sold in the first month in the US. Sales grew stagnant and plateaued soon after that. The Vita did a huge favor for the indie platform, nabbing up games like Fez and Hotline Miami into the Vita library. The actual face of the handheld didn't look too far off from the scheme of the PlayStation 4 controller. 2 analog sticks, a directional pad, and a set of 4 action buttons all provided a comfortable familiarity to how the controls worked. In 2005, Sony announced that they would be bringing a powerhouse to the competition, the PlayStation 3. In one of the most technologically driven panels in E3 history, they explained that the PS3 had a Blu-ray optical disc drive, which held up to 11 times the content of its DVD predecessors, and a 6-axis controller that detected motion. Without chewing up too much time on the specs, a lot of people were disappointed in the revisions Sony made to the system. It's not necessarily that they were knowingly lying to the audience in 2005, but as time goes, all systems make changes and revisions, and the PS3 we got wasn't the console we were shown in the beginning. To highlight just a couple examples, there was only ever one HDMI output instead of 2, as well as the blistering disappointment that came with the PS3's overwhelmingly high sticker price. When Sony revealed the price tag of the PS3 at the E3 panel the following year, the response was mixed between animosity and just downright laughter. Despite people already complaining about the Xbox 360 price of $399, but the fact that the PS3 was $499 for a 20 gig hard drive and even $100 higher for a 60 gig. But it wasn't the price tag alone that got Sony stuck out of the gate. Developers such as Gabe Newell and Bobby Kotick said that the PS3 was an absolute disaster to develop for. Newell once stated that even at this late date, they should just cancel it and do a do-over. Just say this was a horrible disaster and we're sorry and we're going to stop selling this and stop trying to convince people to develop for it. And even Kotick went on record saying that the PlayStation 3 is losing a bit of momentum and they don't make it easy for me to support the platform. It's expensive to develop for and the Wii and Xbox are just selling better. Sony's acknowledgement of the online universe began with the PS3 and the incorporation of the PlayStation Network, a digitized online interaction media service into the system. With this came the PlayStation Store, an online marketplace where you can test drive demos of yet-to-be-released games, take advantage of pre-order deals, and even purchase classic games from the previous era on PlayStation 1 and 2. Other digital peripherals included PlayStation Plus, a membership service for PlayStation users exclusively. Attempting to tap into the social side of online gaming, Sony released the PlayStation Home beta in 2008, where gamers can interact on a less competitive level by customizing their own avatar that can be groomed and adjusted. Europe retained access to a closed beta in the summer of 2007 before a public release, testing out some of the meetup features that allowed players to organize their own groups and meet up to play multiplayer games. PlayStation Home found itself perpetually trapped in the beta phase until just last year in March of 2015, where the program was effectively terminated. Sony ended up releasing more affordable versions of their PS3 system in 2009, most notably the Slim, which had a more effective rate of power consumption, slimmer form factor, obviously, and a cooling system that considerably lessens noise under hotter temperatures. With the arrival of the Slim version, the typeface of the PlayStation 3 changed as well, undergoing new branding to steer away from the font used also in Sony's Spider-Man movies. Yep, they're the same typeface. Weird. The Super Slim update in 2012 was formally announced at the Tokyo Game Show as a second redesign. The Super Slim was somehow even smaller and quieter than its parent design, and included variant colors like garnet red, azure blue, and just plain white for a sleeker look. The PlayStation Network and Curiosity, a Sony music subscription service, unfortunately saw a complete halt of services and all functions due to a huge cyber attack that targeted 77 million Sony users and their billing address information, login, security passwords, and other personal details written in on their network profile. Yep. You remember when this happened? Though it was not confirmed that the actual credit card information was stolen, no one seemed hasty on ruling it out and left it as a standing possibility. This plunged the company into the largest hole they've ever been in, and the network remained inactive for over 6 months. After trials were passed and the repairs were finished with, Sony issued a welcome back program offering a month-long subscription to PlayStation Plus, 2 free downloadable PS3 games, and a year-long enrollment in an identity protection program. Conversation was being tossed around for the PS4 as early as late 2008, only a couple years after the PlayStation 3 had time to generate an appropriate amount of revenue and publicity. Not exactly thrilled about the year-long delay of the PlayStation 3, Sony went out of its way to not repeat history and began work as soon as production allowed, so as not to encounter the same delay once again. The first formal mention of Sony's 8th generation console was professionally announced during a press conference in 2013. In an event entitled The Future of PlayStation in New York City. Sony went out of their way to make themselves a completely open book, revealing specific details about the console's hardware, technical advancements, and real-time game footage from Killzone Shadowfall, Infamous Second Son, and Drive Club. Online servers were flooded with overwhelming traffic, hugely limiting the speed of the system's online capacities. Rumors circulated about the Red Line of Death, until it was concluded that this was only the PlayStation's way of alerting the player that the system was overheating. That didn't stop the PlayStation 4 from enjoying an extremely fruitful launch, confirming over 1 million pre-orders of the console before its official release, making it the fastest-selling console launch in history. A majority of the input and suggestions for the controller design actually came from former Halo developer Bungie. Interesting. In 2012, Sony took all the suggestions, made some fine-tunes to the system, and shipped out development kits operating under the codename Orbis. The hardware in the system was similar to that of most modern PCs, which made the development process for games much simpler and friendlier. The DualShock 4's light bar displays various colors that indicate the status of the player, such as low health in game, and even doubles as a flashlight. The start and select buttons were sandwiched into one button known as the options button, and the share button lets you do essentially that. Share up to 15 minutes of game footage with the PlayStation 4's built-in capture software. The controller also included a stereo headphone jack, motion detection, and a nifty little speaker that will sometimes play back audio logs and journals in-game. Because of the new screencasting feature, players can plug in their headset and join in with another friend, or choose to spectate the gameplay without any input. If a friend happens to be playing a game you're really interested in, you can select a request to watch. Even if the person doesn't own the game, users can still pass the controls over to the spectating player, which is pretty freaking cool. At the Game Developers Conference of 2014, Sony formally announced the next step towards a new technology people weren't quite familiar with yet, and were still warming up to. The PSVR, or PlayStation Virtual Reality headset, was given the codename Project Morpheus. A year prior to the VR release, Sony acquired the company Soft Kinetic for an undisclosed amount in order to further the VR's capabilities. Sony later confirmed that there were approximately 230 developers working in tandem for enjoyable content on the VR. The revised and updated PS4 Slim and PS4 Pro, codenamed the PS4 Neo, was given lip service on September 7th of 2016 in a formal announcement delivered by Sony. While the PS4 Slim, obviously by its title, had a more streamlined form factor and is more portable, the PS4 Pro takes up just a little more space than its parent console. While all games previously platformed on the PS4 will be backwards compatible with newer versions, there will be a selection of games optimized and graphically enhanced for the PlayStation 4 Pro and the VR. As per an announcement not too long ago, Sony delivered an official list of around 40-ish games subject to this graphical improvement on the PS4 Pro, which included Infamous Second Son, Fallout 4, Deus Ex Mankind Divided, and even games that have yet to fulfill their release dates, such as Horizon Zero Dawn. Against all odds, Sony generated a massively favorable reception across the board for all manufactured consoles, even if it did take a couple years every now and then for the hype to accelerate again. Now, with current on-the-market VR capabilities and the PlayStation 4 Pro and Slim being delivered to us, I can wager money that this digital giant is not going anywhere anytime soon. This has been the complete history of the PlayStation. Thanks for watching.
That's it, guys. History for the PlayStation, and then we have how much more time? We have about 17 minutes left. Let's go ahead and see everything we know. Nothing's going down. Everything we know about the PS5
It was a surprise,
so
but the
far.
PlayStation 5 was officially revealed last April, nearly a whole 12 months ago. And since then, details about Sony's next generation hardware have been painfully scarce. Rumours that began to circulate towards the tail end of 2019 suggested that an official reveal event would happen in February 2020, and unless I missed something really important, that doesn't seem to have happened. Please do let me know if I missed something though, because Sammy is not going to be happy if I did. But just because Sony have yet to throw Mark Cerny on a stage and forced him to talk about teraflops for half an hour, that doesn't mean we don't already know a huge amount of information about the next generation PlayStation. Hello, I'm Liam from Push Square, and this is everything we know about the PlayStation 5 so far. Before we embark on this wonderful journey of information together, if you could like this video and maybe subscribe, it would really help us out.
Let's go.
So, the majority of the following information comes from a pair of Wired articles published in both April and October 2019, respectively. Wired was the first publication to reveal the PlayStation 5's existence and remains to this day the only outlet that has seemingly had hands-on access to the console. As a result, I'm going to be referencing them a lot throughout the course of this video. So let's start with the absolute basics.
Oh, there it is.
The console is officially called the PlayStation 5. Now, I know that might sound like a silly thing to have to clarify, but, well, it feels necessary when certain other console manufacturers can't seem to stick with a consistent naming convention. Not saying any particular names there. Here's the logo. It's beautiful. Although no official release date has been given just yet, Sony have confirmed that the console will launch holiday 2020. The PlayStation 4 released in the latter half of November 2014, so I wouldn't be surprised if the PlayStation 5 followed suit and released in the same month. We're still not sure how much it's going to cost, but lead system architect and Nat's dad, Mark Cerny, has stated, quote, "I believe that we will be able to release it at an SRP, that's suggested retail price, that will be appealing to gamers in light of its advanced feature set." It's hard to discern an exact number from this comment, but I assume something in between $399 and $499 seems likely based on the launch cost of previous systems. Rumours that have recently been circulating suggest that the console may retail closer to the $500 mark, however, as Sony are apparently struggling to secure a consistent supply of essential components. DRAM and NAND flash memory are in high demand thanks to its inclusion in next-generation smartphones, and their prices have shot up in response. However, I'd personally take this rumour with a grain of salt. It's very common for console manufacturers to sell their systems at a loss, especially at launch when the manufacturing process has yet to be made more efficient. It's within Sony's best interest to get the PlayStation 5 into the hands of consumers as quickly as possible, so they can start making money from games and online services. Considering how much money the PlayStation Network makes, selling the PS5 for a bit less than it costs to make wouldn't be the worst decision in the world. Alternatively, they could do the same thing they did with the PlayStation 3 and say, hey, if you really want this very expensive console, you'll have to work a second job in order to afford it. The PlayStation 3 reveal was wild. This little monster is a PlayStation 5 development kit. Don't worry, development kits very rarely reflect the final retail design of a system, so there's a very low chance you'll be planting one of these underneath your TV come November. We don't know what the PlayStation 5 will look like just yet, but if we were to hazard a guess, it'll probably end up looking something a little like this. So when will the PlayStation 5 officially be unveiled? It's kind of difficult to say. All of us here at Push Square headquarters were expecting the event to occur in February, but with Sony remaining deviously silent about the console, it seems like the company is holding back until they feel the time is right. If the cost of the PS5 is indeed rising behind closed doors, it's likely that Sony's tactic is to simply wait and see what Microsoft have planned for the Xbox Series X first, before adjusting the cost accordingly in order to retail for less. The issue is that it seems Microsoft has exactly the same idea, hence this excruciating stalemate we're all currently wallowing in. I'd imagine an event is scheduled for March or April, but with Sony missing E3 for the second year in a row, it really does feel like the ball is in their court right now.
It could mean that they're
hope
just
they announce something soon, because the
holding
anticipation
back and just
is
waiting for a
killing me.
big surprise, and we'll see tonight and today in about 12 more minutes.
We may not know all of the specifics just yet, but Mark Cerny's interview with Wired revealed a substantial amount of information regarding the inner workings of the PlayStation 5. Its CPU is, quote, based on the third generation of AMD's Ryzen line and contains 8 cores of the company's new 7nm Zen 2 microarchitecture. Now, this might sound like nonsense, and let's face it, it is. So let me break this down a little bit for you. AMD's Ryzen CPU offers a substantial upgrade compared to the PS4's CPU, which used AMD's Jaguar architecture. The CPU is responsible for processing artificial intelligence, animation, and the behavior of NPCs, among many other components of a video game. So we can expect more complex simulated worlds on Sony's next-gen system as a result of the upgrade. The PS5's GPU, that's the bit that handles the graphics, is a variant of Radeon's Navi family, and once again looks to offer a huge improvement over the PS4 and the PS4 Pro. The most interesting thing we've learned about this mysterious graphics processor is that it's reportedly capable of producing hardware-accelerated ray tracing. Ray tracing is the new hotness that's getting PC gamers all sweaty underneath their mouse mats at the moment, with modern cards offering gamers the opportunity to enhance their games with realistic reflections alongside improved lighting and shadow effects. A graphics card that can effectively handle ray tracing on a PC isn't cheap, so the inclusion of a card capable of producing the same effects on a home console is an exciting proposition.
Look at those
Interestingly,
graphics, guys.
Chief Studio Officer for EA, Laura Mile, really sorry if I've mispronounced your name there, Laura, stated, quote, "We're seeing the GPU be able to power machine learning for all sorts of really interesting advancements in the gameplay and other tools." That sounds to me like the advanced capabilities of the GPU will have benefits that go far beyond fancy lighting and more realistic shadows. A 3D audio chip will reportedly offer a next generation leap in terms of immersive sound design for those with high quality surround sound setups or a solid pair of headphones, which is quite exciting. Finally, Sony confirmed that the PS5 will feature an extremely fast SSD hard drive. SSDs have been included within budget laptops for a while now, but their inclusion in a home console is an exciting new addition. SSDs are much faster than the traditional style of disk-based hard drives that are currently found in the PS4. To demonstrate the benefits of a dedicated SSD, Sony showed a comparison between Insomniac's Spider-Man running on both a PS4 and a PS5. On a PS4, fast travel took 15 seconds to load. On a PS5, the loading screen lasted for only an eighth of a second.
Jesus.
That is quite the comparison. Alongside shorter loading times, the addition of an SSD has tangible benefits to the way video games are stored and distributed as well. Data can be accessed immediately from an SSD, meaning developers don't have to rely on the practice of duplicating commonly used assets throughout the application in order to ensure their games load quicker. So this could potentially lead to either smaller installation sizes for games or free up space for developers to pack more into their titles without having to worry about the size limitations of current hardware. It also seems like the possibility that the PS5 will allow you to install certain elements of a game in order to save on storage space. So let's say you're done with the campaign of the latest Call of Duty. In theory, the PS5 will allow you to delete it, but keep the multiplayer portion installed. It's a fascinating possibility, one that may prove essential, seeing as external storage may not be as easy to come by as it is with the PS4 currently, thanks to the switch to a more specialized and expensive SSD solution. At this point, you're probably thinking, all this nerd stuff about cores and threads is great and all, but what games will I be able to play on my shiny new PS5? Well, let me tell you all about it in a separate video. We have a dedicated video on the channel all about PS5 games. We cover which games have been announced, which have been rumoured. It's a very in-depth video. There's a lot to cover, so we've left it out of this, but you can go find that on our channel. It's good stuff. You'll enjoy it, I'm sure. The PS5 will contain a disc drive that will read 4K Blu-rays, so you can finally watch those 4K movies you've been saving up, and games will be printed on 100GB optical discs. 100 gigabytes. Sony may have confirmed that the PS5 will be fully compatible with both physical and digital PlayStation 4 titles, which made sense as both systems share similar architecture, but the company is remaining silent on rumours that claim that the system will also be backwards compatible with the PS3, PS2 and PS1 library of games. PlayStation 3 compatibility seems unlikely, seeing as the system was incredibly complicated and is difficult to emulate as a result, but there's nothing to suggest that PS2 and PS1 emulation isn't possible. With other systems boasting backwards compatibility as standard, it would be a great addition to the console. Still, your entire PS4 backlog available to play straight out of the box, that's a great launch lineup. As for PlayStation VR, Sony has confirmed that the current PSVR headset and all compatible games will work on the PS5, but remained quiet when asked about a successor to the popular headset. A next-gen VR headset seems more than likely at this stage, and I wouldn't be surprised if it played a prominent part in the console's imminent reveal. Both PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now will be compatible with PS5, meaning your subscriptions to both services will carry over to your new system without any issues. It seems likely that, with the launch of the PlayStation 5, PS Plus will begin giving us games for both the PS4 and the PS5, as this is what happened with the launch of the PS4. As for PlayStation Now, Sony recently changed the model of the service to bring it a little bit more in line with similar offerings, such as Xbox Game Pass. They could have plans to improve it further for next gen, especially with other companies focusing on offering streaming services, and I wouldn't be surprised if Sony emphasizes its ability to stream across devices is one of its main selling points in order to compete with Google Stadia and Microsoft's xCloud platforms.
Boy, the DualShock 5 controller.
One of the most exciting reveals about the PlayStation 5 so far is the upcoming controller revision referred to as the DualShock 5. Reportedly a little heavier and a little chunkier than a DualShock 4, the controller will come equipped with both a USB-C charging port and, finally, larger batteries. Best of all, and I am really excited about this bit, it will feature haptic feedback functionality, which will allow developers to simulate subtle movements and textures through precise vibrations within the controller. For instance, instance, the Wired article details how the controller can simulate the feeling of walking through sand, mud, and ice, and how driving in Gran Turismo feels completely different when scooting over tarmac compared to gravel. The triggers will also be adaptive, meaning developers can apply differing levels of pressure to them. One example given is using a bow and arrow and having the trigger tense up as you pull the bow's string back. If you've ever played on a Nintendo Switch and you've experienced the HD rumble that lies in the heart of these little Joy-Cons, you should have a fairly good idea of what to expect from the DualShock 5. The thought of playing huge PlayStation exclusives like the rumoured Horizon Zero Dawn 2, the controller simulating the tension of your bow and the feeling of scrambling down a dusty mountain path is so exciting. The level of immersion this technology could offer to PlayStation gamers could be a real game changer.
One to sell and one to...
So there we have it, a comprehensive overview of everything we know about the PlayStation 5 so far. Are you excited for the PlayStation 5 to be revealed? What would you like to see included in Sony's next generation hardware? Let us know in the comments below. I would love to hear what you think. For all of the latest,
guys, let me know in the comments below what you guys want to see. This is live right now. What we got on the PlayStation. I will end it within 1 more minute. When we have about when we have about a minute 30 seconds later. A minute 30 seconds later. What up, Charlemagne? Just doing this PS5 reveal, my boy. Live stream. It's going down. Are you excited for it? My guy had an elite old lady booty for it. But he's got it secured, boy. PS5 in the bag, boy. Achievement. What are you guys most excited for? Any game announcements you guys looking forward? God of War 2. That's me, God of War 2. I'm happy. I want God of War 2 to come out. Launch. PS5 launch. Horizon Zero Dawn. We're just talking. Me and my buddy were talking yesterday. What about a Splinter Cell reboot? A new Splinter Cell game? We hadn't had a new Splinter Cell game. I don't think we've had one on the PS4. Son of War. Ooh. Damn, man, you're always partying, bro. Ooh. GTA 6. Animal Tycoon. Bloodborne 2. We're less than 3 minutes away, guys, from the PS5 reveal. Arc 2. What are they gonna do with Arc 2? If anything, make Arc great again. GOG all day. Jack and Dexter. You said Jam and Dexter. They did the Jack and Dexter kind of trilogy reboot. This fool said Sims. Verum Rex announcement. Verum Rex announcement. Alright guys, stay with me though. I'm going to end this stream and I'm going to change the title of it so I can get more people up in here. So I'm gonna title it what? Live reaction of PS5 reveal. So bear with me people, we're gonna go live and again in a few. I'll be right back, guys. I will be right back. Ooh.